Well, it is raining and I was planning on going to the flea market today. That has since changed due to the weather. So I thought this would probably be a good time to just check out thrift stores. I have a few in mind of where I want to go, and I have a lot of things on my list that I want to tackle. So I do want to go thrifting just to thrift, but I also have projects in my home that I'm working on. So we're going to try to see if we can find stuff for both hauls. But as always, I'll put the timestamp right here if you want to fast forward right to the haul. And without further ado, let's go thrifting. Okay, so first up is actually an artwork piece because I'm specifically looking for artwork. I'm looking for like old style, like paper artwork. I was kind of happy to find this one, even though it is a rather small piece altogether. So I found this piece right here. So obviously this is mostly just frame and the mat itself. There's actually a rather small picture in the center of it. And although negative space is not something that everyone goes for when it comes to artwork, I will say the mat itself kind of makes it more appealing to me just because of the fact that my eyes are drawn to it, and I see such a difference when it comes to the color of the paper in relation to the mat itself. I think that's why it really worked for me. Maybe down the line I'd consider like swapping it out for a different frame if I found something that suits this more, but for now, for me, I feel like it's a really good combination and I like it. So if I'm not mistaken, it kind of looks almost like a house or a barn in a winterscape. So this one was $7.99. I don't know, I actually think that's a fair price. I thought it was pretty good. Maybe it's because I love it so much that I thought it was really good, but happy I still found it nonetheless. And luckily I stumbled across it too because it wasn't in the artwork section. So I'm actually kind of glad I got to take it home. Okay, speaking of artwork, this is probably going to seem a little bit different. However, I have been picking up records specifically for my husband because he just got a record player. So I've been thrifting a lot of records, but I haven't been showing them just because I didn't think that was something that everyone wanted to see. If you are interested in seeing it, let me know though, because I did actually get a lot of great albums. I did pick up this one, this record right here. So I want to be completely honest in saying though that I picked this one solely up for the artwork on the record. I just really love the scenic view of it. And so I thought maybe kind of just like making this a cute little DIY of framing it. Nothing spectacular. It's not obviously going to be like a huge thing. I guess this gives you a good idea though of how much I've been struggling for artwork, but I still stand behind my decision because honestly, it is just the case itself. And the record is still intact. It still has a cover over it too. Plus, where I'll be storing my husband's records is a really safe spot too. Gonna take this one though and use it as art. So as of right now, and obviously this could change, but records there are only 99 cents. So most of the time there you find records that are not that great in my opinion, but every once in a while you manage to find some good ones, and man, did I find some good ones lately. Next up is a shelf with pegs. I thought this was really cute. I've been actually looking for like vintage style shelves and small ones at that. And I will be honest, I was trying to stay away from the peg style ones because obviously I have done a couple of different style of peg racks in my home thus far, including the one above me up here. So I was actively trying in this moment to be a little different. I guess those hold habits though. But this one is really cute. It appears to me to be pine, though I'm not 100% sure. This one will definitely be a DIY for me just because of the fact it does need a little work. You see that there's like a ring here or whatever, so I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna do a DIY with this at some point soon because I'm getting bored with working on long-standing projects where I see little to no progress. That it'd be nice to kind of like change the pace and do like a small DIY that takes a day or two and actually see something come out of it. So that's probably why I'm gonna do it. But yeah, also it is cute. With a little love, I think it'll actually look even better. And my plan for this is to use it in the laundry room because that needs a lot of love. And this one was only $4.99. I think $5 for a cute little shelf. A vintage shelf is actually a really good price. Yeah, happy I picked this one up. So I did go to 2 other places outside of the normal place that I go to, and the second place I only found one thing, and it was this piece right here. It is an artwork piece of like a ship and kind of what looks to be rough waters. So I thought it was really cute, but obviously the frame of it too is really pretty. It's definitely more of like a plastic frame, I would say. Still, the details on it are really gorgeous, so I love it all the same. I love also that it has like a hook right here that you can hang it up. This would be really cool if I actually found a nice chain to hook through and just hang it up that way. Of course, you could just easily put a nail through it too and just like hang it up on the wall. It also has this nice paper backing, but if you did see the tag, this was $2.99. An older vintage piece like this, there's no way that $2.99 was gonna scare me away. I think that's great. Okay, and the last place I went to was my favorite little thrift store. I don't go there often, but when I do go there, generally speaking, I do find things. So I was lucky to find a few things this time around too. The first thing that I found was this vintage book. I was very surprised to find it. So I really love glossing through these kinds of books in particular. So this was either a book that someone used to study something, or they were just very interested in the overall topic, because you can see writing throughout the book. Yeah, but there's some underlining, there's some circling, nothing that I feel like is too distracting in my opinion. And to point out too, this large book, even with writing in it, was only $1.99. So that's more than fair for a book like this. Overall, the quality of this is still really magnificent. And so that definitely wouldn't deter me when it comes to really loving a book, because what I'm getting out of it, what's inside of it, is what really matters to me. $1.99 for an art history book, I'm all for that. Next up are some brass candlestick holders. Surprisingly enough, I find brass candlestick holders at this thrift store so often. I feel like at this point too, I've collected a lot of different styles, so it's a lot easier to be like, do I really like this? Or do you kind of just like the fact that they're brass? And so I did manage to pick up 3 candlestick holders. So the small one was only $1.99, and I have a few styles like this. I love these styles though, specifically for like vintage style designs. So these ones I had to pick up, and they were 2 for $4.99. Really good price in my opinion for brass. And yes, I could not be happier with this purchase. I love them so much. Last but not least is this little footstool footstool right here. Now, I already do have a footstool that I showed a while ago, and while I have not finished the DIY on it, mainly because I am still looking for fabric, funny enough, the reason why I picked this one up was because of the fabric. I think this has a lot to do with the style these days of just wallpaper and how colorful and like over the top it is. Maybe that's why. Because while I'm not a wallpaper kind of person, I cannot deny how beautiful wallpaper has gotten recently when it comes to their overall patterns, their color schemes. So instead, living vicariously through this little stool right here. Really love it and thought it was really cool. It has a hinge too for storage. It's got a red color stain. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of stain color before. It almost looks like a reddish purple, if that makes sense. And no place comes in mind when I look at this and say, this is where I think it should go. But I think in time, as I'm working through the spaces that I'm currently DIYing, it'll find its spot. It is definitely vintage, and honestly, it's like one of those vintage pieces where I'm like, this is definitely like a love it or hate it pattern, but I love it, and so I'm happy with it. So yes, that is it for our thrift haul today. I was really happy with what I picked up. Let me know in the comments if you liked it. Of course, as always, if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And I want to say thank you so much for watching, and thank you for thrifting with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!